Hi, this is Jamie Penn's from DC Integrated Health. I'd like to talk to you about an issue that is close to my heart, something that I see as a huge issue: sleep and the lack of. Okay, only 100 years ago we were sleeping on average 90 minutes more than we are now. Now this 90 minutes may not seem a great deal, but if you multiply that even by a week, and then by a year, and then by a lifetime, that's a huge amount of sleep we're missing. Sleep's a time when our immune system does its work. Sleep is a time when we repair. Sleep is a time when we regulate our appetite. Okay, and this goes some way to explaining why we're getting so much fatter. And when we're getting fat, we can't lose the weight. Okay, it's only one of the issues, but it's a really important one. So what does affect when we get up in the morning and when we go to sleep? Okay, naturally it should be the sun. The sun rises and falls on a 24-hour cycle. But we've managed to bypass the sun, and with the advent of the electric light bulb primarily, we can set our days as we want. So what's the cost of this? Well, hormones are controlled by our circadian rhythm, our day-night cycle, the sun. So if we don't get the correct synchronicity, if we're not synchronized with the sun, then our hormones are messed up. Okay? So what kind of hormones are messed up? Why is that important? Well, cortisol is one of the hormones that is regulated by our circadian rhythm. Now, cortisol is a hormone that's really important in looking after all of the systems within our body. It mops up inflammation around our body. It mops up toxins around our body. It primarily mops up protein around the body from what the body is mopping up in terms of invaders. So it mops that up, allows us to use it for energy. It mops up dead cells as well. Okay, the circadian rhythm also has an influence on the anabolic hormones within our body. Those are growth hormone, testosterone, DHEA, which is a hormone that counters, it stops cortisol having a negative effect on our body, being broken down. Now all of these help anabolism, building up of the body. So if we're missing out on these hormones, or they're being released at the wrong time, we can end up with something called endotoxicity. The immune system is very active at night, and it needs at least 8 hours to do its job. Now, if we're missing 19 minutes of that 8 hours per night, that's having a very negative effect on our immune systems. And we end up with a toxic inside, endotoxicity. What's the body do with that? Well, it wants to store it away from our organs, our vital organs, and it stores it in fat cells. So it can't do harm to us. But we end up with storing fat. Now, explain why the light bulb, for example, has the same effect as the sun. Okay, so if we're staying up late at night, bright lights, we're going out late at night, we've got the TV on, we've got bright lights. Now, the body does not differentiate between sunlight and this unnatural light that hits our skin. Now, we've got cells within our skin called cryptochromes, and these send messages. When light hits these cryptochromes, it sends messages up to the hypothalamus in the brain. Now, the hypothalamus then sends messages to our adrenals to release cortisol. Now, cortisol has quite a long half-life within the body, So if we're staying up late at night with bright lights or TV, this will add to the stress on our body, increase the amount of cortisol. We can't get to sleep. Okay, so we'll have trouble getting to sleep to start with. And as I said, the body does not differentiate between sunlight and our natural light.